Hello, my cookies. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I have Pasta Alla Zozzona. Now, this is kind of like a combination of two different pasta sauces. Its name literally translates into dirty pasta. So it's kind of like part carbonara, but then we're going to incorporate a little bit of tomato and a little bit of pork sausage. It's going to be fantastic. So now that we know what we're doing, let's gather our ingredients. You're going to need guanciale. Don't skimp on this, okay? Get guanciale. If you can't, pancetta, it can work in a pinch. Don't get bacon. Don't get ham. Don't get any of that other stuff. Guanciale, you can settle for pancetta. 5 ounces. You're also going to need what's called passata. Now, passata is essentially tomato puree that has not been cooked. Pecorino Romano. Onion, a very small onion is perfect. I have a very large onion, but I'm only going to be using about a third of it, half of it. Sweet Italian sausage. I got 2 5-ounce sausages. A pound of pasta. I got some pappardelle here. Eggs, salt, olive oil, pepper. That's it. Pretty simple. Go to your Italian market, in your little Italian market, all right? And get your guanciale. Get your good pecorino romano, all right? You're not going to find this stuff, the really good stuff, in a stop and shop. You know, go to that little Italian market that your town has, you know, where they bring a little taste of Italy over, the really good stuff, all right? And if you don't have a little Italian market near you, move, all right? There's no reason to live far away from one of these. I have 30 within like 5 miles. I love it. Chef, I walk in there, they go, Russell, they start doing the chef kiss. I love it. Now that we know what we're doing and we got our ingredients, let's get cooking. In the back here, I have a pot of water heating up to a boil. Get that going. It's going to take about 20 minutes to come to a boil. Meanwhile, we can prep our sauce. You can make this a one-pot dish. You can use the same pot for the sauce and the pasta. That's fine. I'm not going to. The reason is I'm going to save a teeny bit of time doing both at the same time. And I'm going to spend that extra save time cleaning the extra dish. With your guanciale, you're just going to want to cut it 1/4-inch cubes. Let's get our onion going. 1/4-inch dice. Let's head on over to our stove. I'm going to add my guanciale here to a Coles 12-inch nonstick pan. I'm also going to add a little bit of oil. This is just going to help get things going. 2 teaspoons. I'm just going to turn this on medium heat. We're going to let that crisp up 5 minutes. Next up for our mise is our pork. Now, I got some sweet Italian sausage. Let's go over and babysit this guanciale here. I'm going to drop the heat a little bit, medium low. Oh, this smells fantastic. Very porky. We're rendering the fat, crisping it up. Next up, our strained tomatoes or passata. I don't know why I say it with a Spanish accent. It's Italian. We're going to use this whole thing too. That's what I love about recipes. Sometimes you use the entire, like, there's nothing like having half a can of beans left over and you're like, what do I do with this? Let's do our egg yolks. 3. Save the whites if you want. Let's add our onion. Let's add our sausage here. Just going to break up this sausage. I want little bits. Drop your heat down to medium low. You want to get the pink off of the pork. You want to cook it. You want it to take about 8 to 10 minutes. I want to get my pasta going. So I got about a gallon of water here. Salted it so it tastes like the sea. And I'm going to put in my 1 pound of this pappardelle. Now, the important thing is you are going to need pasta water. Don't dump it all down the sink. I have my little measuring cup right here. I'm just going to scoop some pasta water out and save it. You are going to need it for the sauce. We got our pasta open, just waiting for the water to come up to a boil. And one of the last things I'm going to mise here is my pecorino romano. This doesn't really have much of a rind. Can you use this? Absolutely. If it's got a little darker rind or it's like Parmesan rind, yeah, cut it off and you can save it. You can throw it into pasta sauces and whatnot. It'll give flavor. It's really hard. You can't really grate it. This smells so good. This is really good. Pecorino romano. This is going to be a big part. So I got a really tasty one. 2 ounces of grated pecorino romano. Add in my pasta. It's going to take about 5 minutes. Going to bring it back up to a boil. Make sure it's cooked beforehand. Let's slide on down. Here we go. My onions are softened. My pork is cooked. It's time to add the tomato sauce here. The entire thing is going to be about 1.5 cups. Let's go ahead and give that a stir. Yes. All right. And I'm just going to raise the heat back up to medium. Bring it up to a simmer. And then drop it back down and simmer it for about 4 minutes. Very rich, very fatty. It's going to take a little bit of time for that fat and tomato to mix and get incorporated. Back to our pecorino romano. I got about 2 ounces finely grated parm here. Sauce is simmering, dropping that heat down so we get a gentle simmer, 4 minutes. I'm gonna put the parm right in here with the eggs. Okay, right in there. It's all nice, tucked together, and kind of whisk it up. This is where the pasta water is going to go, okay? We got about 10 more seconds on this pasta. Don't forget, get yourself a cup of pasta water. Let's go ahead and test one. Want to make sure it's al dente. I don't rinse my pasta. Don't rinse it. You wash away all those nice starches that help the sauce stick to it. Just barely cooked. I'm going to give it another 30 seconds. I think our pasta's good here. Remember, we're going to cook it a little bit more in the sauce. So I'm going to go drain it out, keep it in the pot. Let's look at this sauce. It's looking delicious. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. Make sure we don't need to add anything like salt. Ooh. That's so porky. So pork forward. You got that richness from the fat. The tomato, a little bit of acidity there, but it's really just there to kind of carry that richness for you. Balances a bit with that acidity. And I got a little bite of sausage, super flavorful. A little bit of fennel. Did I detect garlic? Yeah. This is perfect.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Perfect. I'm shutting it off. I'm gonna let it sit. We gotta finish this here. Off heat. No heat. I want every last drop of this sauce on here. Get it. Let's head back over to the board. Pasta water has dropped. It's probably around 160 degrees. Just gonna add it pretty slowly here, all right? I don't want to overcook these eggs. This is not gonna be smooth. That's not because I scrambled the eggs. It's because of the pecorino. Let's keep adding. I'm gonna be adding about 3/4 of a cup all day. So this is like the carbonara side of things. Gonna get some cracked pepper in here. This looks fantastic. About 3/4 a cup of pasta water. We can always add more to the pasta. Let's head back over to the pasta here. So you're gonna get this in off heat. Remember, the pasta's still hot, and we're gonna toss it around. Smooth it out, make it glisten. Look at how creamy it looks now. I love that. I am gonna add a teeny bit more, maybe 2 tablespoons pasta water, just to loosen this up a teeny bit. It's time to plate it. Look at this. Don't throw away that pasta water, because as it sits, it's going to tighten up, and you can loosen it with a little bit more pasta water, which is what I will do. Let's eat this. Look at this pasta. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I only wish I had made so much more of this sauce, but it's extremely rich. You just get a burst of porkiness. A little bit of the acidity from the tomato comes through, but it's not tomato forward. Very rich. And then the pecorino comes in. The little bits of pork. Fantastic. They have so much flavor, so much depth. And this pasta is just nicely coated. You get the egg, which is added richness. It's egg pasta. You get the pecorino. It just is all, and then the guanciale fat. It just really carries it on. Those egg yolks too. Oh, so that was pasta alla zozzona. Means dirty pasta. It's delicious. It's a combination of like a carbonara mixed with like a pork ragu. Absolutely delicious. Guanciale really shines here. The pecorino romano really shines. Make sure you get fantastic ingredients. If you like what you saw, don't forget to check me out. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Thanks so much for tuning in. The links are below. I hope to see you next time. Take care.